We're about to record a podcast. If I can get Jake's phone going.
The touch screen is bad on that.
I think it's probably there. Hello, Instagram as well. So we're live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. For people watching, we're about to record a podcast episode. Please leave any questions or topics you'd like discussed in the comments, and I'll do my best to track them and get them answered. Otherwise, how are we today, Jake and Phoebe?
Are you good? I'm been sitting in traffic for 2 hours, so I'm great.
Oh, good. I had a great one.
Have an early one. Get down the Gold Coast for 8 o'clock consult, and I didn't get there till 9 o'clock. The traffic was so bad.
And you got your first coffee of the day.
No, it's my second one.
Oh,
I got two in the drive-through on the way back. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get this here we go.
Did you just say you got 2 coffees from the same drive?
No, but I hadn't finished my first one when I got to the Rapids. She laughed at me.
Okay,
It was
sorry,
bad.
I couldn't let that go.
That's all right. Okay, let's get this podcast started. Welcome back to the Foxy Property Chat podcast. I'm one of your, I guess I am the host, Cody. With me today is Jake and Phoebe. Hey, guys.
Hello.
And today we have a fun podcast. Well, I don't know if it's fun. We'll soon find out. We have Q&A as usual. Got a bunch of questions to answer. And our main topic, which we may as well jump straight into, I'll let you guys take it where you want to take it. Today we're talking about communication with clients or our agents. So we've identified before that it's very important to us. So why is it so important to us? And then we're going to go into what are some of our touch points along the way of our service at the end, at the start, throughout, and where we perhaps need to improve on, and where we do things well. So I'll let you maybe start with why communication for Foxy is so important.
You can go. Normally I do all the talking, so I'll let you do it.
That's fair. Well, I guess the first thing that came to mind was that this is probably a different way to start talking about it, but we mentioned it, was it last week, that we do a kind of questionnaire to our agents every year, and one of the things that we ask is what's most important to them in a staging company, and one of the things that for the last couple of times we've done it has ranked high, very high, probably even higher than what most people would realise is communication. So from an agent's point of view, they need to be working with somebody, a staging company that has great communication, and that when we talk about that, we're saying things like communication with the agent for when we're collecting keys or when we're meeting them on site for a consultation, for the day itself and when we're going to be arriving, but also communication with the client. Because some agents prefer us to deal directly with them instead of the client, but others like to, once it's all locked in and once they're happy, and we've got all the details kind of ironed out, ready to go, they prefer us to deal with the client directly. So they need to know that, as a representative of their business, we're going to communicate with the client, in an effective way, and that everything's kind of taken care of and they don't have to worry about it.
I think under that umbrella of communication definitely comes being on time, letting somebody know on the installation day if the truck's running late, how are we going to go to the property, we're finished, the keys are here now, here are our sneak peek photos after we've done an installation. So it's pre and post installation communication with both the real estate agent and the vendor, but as you said, we're an extension of their brand. So most real estate agents we work with have built their reputation up on having a fantastic communication process, and so we need to reflect that.
We've also, through kind of experience, come to realise, and we probably already wanted to be good at communication, but we've come to realise that that's just one of those things that not everybody does very well, and so by us just doing the simple things, returning a phone call quickly, telling people what we're going to be doing and when, and then following through on it all, like just doing those things that seem so simple and obvious. So many of our competitors, at least in the early stages, were getting work simply because we did those things and they didn't.
Well, I think back to sometimes when I look for services or if I'm looking for a product and I reach out, if someone gets back to me straight away, even if you're like, look, they're probably not going to be the best or the most affordable option, but you know what, they're active, proactive, getting back to me, they're giving the information. I want to make that decision now while I'm in the right frame of mind. Let's just go with them, let's lock it in, or at least book in a quote or something, rather than this other company that might take a day or 2 days or never get back to me at all.
Yeah, about making it easy.
Yeah, so you did sort of touch on it there. Let's walk through maybe the process of when someone works with us. what are some of those touch points?
Yeah, so the very first communication that we have, there's two different pathways a vendor can engage with us. So basically, you either will get in touch with us directly yourself, or a real estate agent will get in touch with us on your behalf. So if it's an agent we work with often, we have a great relationship with them already. They normally flick us an email, everything gets taken care of, even without you having to have any communication with us. So we do have those situations where there is no communication with the client whatsoever. There are other pathways that we do have the communication with the vendor. We go out on site, we have a consultation with them. We really like to go out on site and have a chat, because if we can get in front of you and have a chat with you, we can reassure you, we can let you know the process, we become more familiar, we build that relationship.
And it's a face to a name.
Yeah, that's exactly
sort of,
right.
yeah.
And so whilst 9 times out of 10 more questions come from a consult and forgotten to be asked while we're there, to be able to get in front of and have a chat with a person, that for us is the best way for us to then move forward with the job. After that point, we then lock in it, so we send them a quote the same night, the same night / the next day. Then we'll have a confirmation email come through. Then they're sent basically paperwork to lock everything in. We then, next point of contact will be us confirming access and installation timeframes.
Yep.
We then do the install, and that same day the install happens, the lead stylist then sends them through a quick email that says it came up great. They've attached some of their favourite photos. It's a bit of a sneak peek, particularly for interstate investors, those who aren't around to see the house before the photos are taken. Because once the photos are taken, obviously we can't go back and make any alterations. And then after that, they don't really hear from us until it's ready to be picked up.
Yep.
Once it's picked up, we organise access to do all that, and then we send them through a review email for a Google review.
Yep.
So that's pretty much our standard communication. And that doesn't really change if we've got input from the vendor. That's how it will happen. The only time it's different is if the agent's taking care of everything.
It seems pretty comprehensive, like we communicate along the way. I was just trying to think of where could we improve, but
I do think we can.
Yeah.
Post installation.
Okay.
A lot of real estate agents, those buyers will be your future sellers.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So they put a lot of effort into taking care of the new buyers. Everybody only really sells a home once every now and then, not very often. So it's not like we're going to really have a repeat seller. We don't do anything. We do zero for those buyers.
Right.
There is no communication or even hi or like, did you like something in this house that we split? So all those sorts, there's zero.
So they probably don't even know we exist.
No. So
They
there
might
is
be aware
potential.
that, they might, this place is that's fake furniture or something,
Yeah.
but they might not even know what's going on.
There's zero that we do, and then we have potential. Like you could do a little gift, like a congratulations, a housewarming gift, all those sorts of things. There's potential. We don't do that yet, but it's an avenue that I haven't even talked to you about it.
Well,
An idea for someone.
Yeah, because then I get held accountable.
if you're a home stager or someone in the industry or another industry that does something like this, let us know how you handle it. I'd be interested to know, and just put it on Phoebe's to-do list. Okay, well, thanks for that communication. Let's go into Q&A. The first question comes from Alyssa Walsh. How do you deal with clients damaging or dirtying your stock? I've tried bonds on and off, education and leaving things like drop sheets, etc.
So if I'm absolutely honest, this doesn't happen very often. Damage to our stock. We've actually had 2 scenarios within the past month where it's happened. Prior to that, I can still count on my hands the amount of damage that we've
There's
had.
significant damage.
Yeah,
There's things that get dirty, there's little scuff marks here and there. I think the first thing is we accept it as part of business. It's
Yeah.
going to happen.
But that being said, they don't break it. It's
No,
still
it's-
used, like it's something that we can go use our upholstery cleaner or get electro drying.
Yeah, we can do
to
something
clean
with
it.
it. We can repaint it, or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Restain.
So if it's fixable or cleanable or whatever it is, we'll do that, and we just accept that as part of business.
Yeah.
If it's significant damage, like a sofa getting the arm chewed by a dog, which is what happened recently, we've got our terms and conditions in place that allow us to basically repair it and pass on the cost, and that's
Our terms specifically state that any damage caused by pets is not covered, it's not insured. So they are basically the only scenario that I've ever had actual damage to furniture. So the sofa that was chewed, yesterday we had a sofa come back that had a cat sit on it while I was bleeding. We have had 2 rugs that have had come back because the dogs have urinated on those rugs, and it was dried, and then you can't get rid of that smell once the urine's dried. So they are the 4 situations that I have as examples. Our how do we combat that as an issue? Yes, we accept it, but our stylists will flag to us if they've got any issues at a consult. I have charged bond a couple of times, so there was a sofa that came back and the cat had scratched all underneath and taken all the lining out, but also up the side of the sofa. Our reupholsterers recovered that sofa, and we just charged the recover price to those vendors, and they were fine with that.
For the most part,
that's
though,
pretty
it
much
comes
everything.
back to communication as well
Yeah.
up front. Like, if we know that there's animals, pets on site, then it's a conversation with them to let them know that, you know, that any damage caused by those pets isn't covered. But it's also, we're pretty lenient. Like, if you were to go by what our terms and conditions actually say, we could, you know,
Yeah,
charge
push on
cleaning fees or or charge a fee for other damage, but we just often don't do that because to us, if it's easily fixed, we just fix it.
As your last touch point with them, you want it to
Yeah.
keep it like a positive touch point. We try to make each of our touch points positive, especially that last one. If my last one is sitting there saying, "Oh, I need $450 from you," that's a bit of it. I need $90 from you to have these towels cleaned because they're used while they're on site. That's not ideal, and I feel like that's better absorbed for future business.
And they're
Cost of
less
business.
likely to refer you if you hit them up for $90, and
Yeah.
you're going to make more than $90 on the next job if they do
Yeah.
refer you.
Well, and the impression through, like, we might be dealing directly with the client, but the agent
We'll hear about
often
that.
hear or
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
that communication. So, you know, if we're being seen to do the right thing by the client, by the seller, and we're dealing in good faith, then we're more likely to get another job from them, and that's
Yeah.
more valuable than the $90 cleaning fee.
Yeah.
Hmm.
$9 is extreme for towels, but that's just an example.
Rug.
Yeah, rug.
So on the most recent This or That series on Thursday that Laura puts together, we featured some outdoor furniture
I saw this comment come through.
from Adorn Home Staging. There were no outdoor rugs
No.
used in the photos. Why do we not use them?
So rugs is something that for me has been, when I was hiring rugs at the very, very start, I didn't put rugs in bedrooms. They are a higher cost item for our vendors, and sometimes I just don't see the return on investment of charging a client for the rug. Particularly for outdoor spaces. I don't see the value in it, but I also don't actually like the images as much when they have an indoor rug. It makes an outdoor rug, it makes the space feel a lot smaller. You have to, if you have the outdoor rug and then you push your outdoor furniture further off the rug, and generally your outdoor rug's only a small one, so it's a 160 by 230, the space that that outdoor furniture takes up is significantly less. And we have a lot of outdoor spaces in Queensland, so we need to make the most of those outdoor spaces. And if we ground them around a rug, it does the opposite, I feel. So that's why we
So
don't use them as
when would
much.
you use it if the floor was
I was
damaged?
gonna
Yep.
say,
So we do use them. We own, what do we own, 11? 10 or 11 of them?
Something like that.
And I would use those more, so they are when we're asked to distract from damaged tile, the damaged surfaces underneath. That we use them in higher end properties where we have two outdoor spaces that are kind of going onto a smaller veranda or a smaller patio. They are definitely used in a space where we're doing multiple settings and we're trying to make it feel a little bit more cozy.
Oh, yeah. My Four Sons on Instagram has asked, have you ever run a promotion to get more business?
Yep.
Yeah, we've done a couple.
Isn't that that's what you do? Isn't that promotions though? Isn't that?
Oh yeah, I guess we've done ads and stuff, but in terms of
All
what,
Yeah.
promotions, yeah.
So our biggest one
like
would be.
sales or something.
Yeah, the
The
one
summer.
that comes to mind is, we didn't do it last year.
No, we didn't.
But we did it a couple of years before that, where we ran a competition where we would give away, I think we did 10
Yeah.
staging packages essentially for free. So we stole 10 houses for free. There was a couple of conditions, things like it needed to be in December, and the reason we picked December was because it was a time when generally the industry goes a bit quiet. We had a full warehouse and we were trying to find where we were going to put all our furniture, so it was a good way for us to get some furniture out the door. At the same time as we were having the opportunity to work for some
New
new
agents.
agents and kind of get our name at the front of their minds so they knew who we were and how we operate. So we've had repeat
Yep.
business come from that.
Very beneficial.
Yeah.
And we didn't have to pay for a storage shed. So it was very beneficial for us in two ways. But that would be the biggest one. I think we ran that 3 years in a row.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. We've probably had a couple other small ones. Like I think straight after COVID for a while there, we did the extra 2 weeks just to drum up a bit of business. But then the staging would stay for 2 weeks, but then we just made that a permanent change.
Yeah, we switched it to 8 weeks.
On a previous
Yep.
podcast. There's probably been like a winter one a couple of years ago that we just wanted to get a little bit more business during winter, but nothing
not in
nothing
quite a while.
significant and nothing
Yeah.
that I can remember the details for, to be honest.
What are some of the mistakes that happen on a daily or weekly basis that annoy you as business owners?
Well, can I talk about the truck side of things?
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
There's little things like, we just get the basics wrong there. So we leave something behind. We leave
Not-
cushion from
Not
our-
all the time.
No, it doesn't happen often. But if it's something, on a daily basis, it's probably a little bit harsh.
I did put weekly in there too. Fortnightly,
Bit
monthly.
mean.
Yeah, I would
Yearly.
say there's at least probably one a week, a fortnight, I don't know
Yeah.
if you think that's too harsh, but where we, we've got an outdoor setting and we leave a cushion behind at the warehouse or,
I can give you an example today. I had rug A to go on a list and rug B went on the truck. I had
And they switched
And
it,
they
so
switched
rug
it.
A went to the wrong job and
Yeah.
rug B went to, we can make
same
it
thing
work,
happened
but-
with dining chairs. Like it's the little things that don't impact the overall.
Yeah, I mean, we can fix them easily, but it's the little things that when you're running a business where you're doing as many installs as we are every day, those little things just cost time for someone.
That's exactly a problem.
So, we actually, probably the one that I should have started with this, when we, whether we do our stock list, so it gets handwritten, the boys load the truck based on the list, and then that gets uploaded into, our software that we use, and then that goes into our database. If we don't get that stock list right, when Phoebe pulls up the stock list to see what she wants to select for the next day, there's going to be errors, and that's one of those things that when you're doing 4, 5, 6 installs in a day, it's easy to miss something, but it makes the next day harder.
Yeah.
And that happens, maybe again not daily, but it does happen at least once a week.
Yeah.
So it's just little human errors, I guess. But
And,
again,
and it's not just the team. Like yesterday, I forgot to put an entire double bed on a truck. I just completely gypped the house of an entire double bed. So that means that truck now has to go out to the west side of Brisbane today when there was no trucks out west side of Brisbane. That is frustrating on my part. I just get annoyed at myself.
Yeah.
But what I need is a double check of somebody making sure, and I'm not the only person that does it, and I'm not the only person that checks it. I need somebody looking at it.
that's a process.
It's a process. So I think, and that's what a lot of these come down to: established processes. And I think that's what
And
we
having
really
those
need,
checks.
really need to work on. But I feel like everybody has, like, they got growth or teething problems at the start, and then they become growth problems. And I think if you don't have these problems, you aren't forced to review your processes, and you can't get better. So I think they're necessary, annoying but necessary.
And honestly, the couple of things we've just mentioned there, you're never going to get rid of those entirely. We can get better at them and minimise them.
Yeah.
And that's what the processes and the double checks are there for.
Perfect. Are there any home staging conferences in Australia worth attending, or at all?
Well, we went to, I don't know if they're doing it this year, we went to AAHS?
International Institute of
Home staging? Yeah.
Which I don't know if it's called that anymore.
I don't think, I'm not sure what's going on there, but they had one on just pre-COVID, and we really enjoyed the networking component of it.
interaction,
Loved the networking component of it. I do not believe that there's anything happening anytime soon for that as far as the industry goes. I've been going to real estate conferences, really, really loving them. You're surrounding yourself with people who are in the industry, who is fantastic, obviously, for networking. But every single real estate agent is a small business owner, and they're facing the same problems as you. If they've got an EBU underneath them, so some of them are building out a team beneath them, effective business unit. Look at me go. But if some of them have a team underneath them, and they have the leadership problems, they have the training problems, they have the growth problems. When do they bring them in? They have the same, just they don't have the stock. So surround yourself with them, talk to them. They've got the same issues.
And they see it from a different perspective. The
Yeah.
whole sales process.
Definitely. And that's what I found super beneficial by going to the real estate conferences. And we're going to another one. All three of us are going to go to Gold Coast, the business of real estate, beginning of September. That's where I would go down that avenue if you can't find anything home staging related.
There are some virtual home staging
yeah.
conferences. You were a judge on one last year. and I've been a
That'd be
speaker
coming
on
up
this one.
soon. Cindy would have that, I imagine.
Yeah, so I know that there's a few of them. So
Yeah.
if you're after that sort of thing and you don't necessarily need to be there in person, then there's definitely some virtual options.
My favourite part of that conference we went to in Sydney a few years back that we were just talking about was the dinner at the Italian restaurant with the
With the guys from New Zealand.
guys. What's their business called? Stage New Zealand, Beautiful Homes New Zealand or something? Sorry, guys.
Rowan and... No, not Rowan. Oh my goodness.
We're terrible.
They've got a green logo with a little white leaf.
Anyway, that was fun.
Yeah, just talking to people.
Cody used to make us look really bad.
Yeah, well, that's the truth. I'm bad with names.
Jane,
Yeah, and Steve maybe.
he's Veronator.
Yeah, very nice. He does a beer review page.
See,
Yeah.
we know who you are.
I still follow your stuff. Yeah.
Okay. How do you know when to use a lamp versus a tree in staging? Like, where do you put? Like, you got a living room. You know, often you've got a tree in this corner and a lamp in that corner. How do you know which one goes where? Does it matter?
PowerPoint? No, it doesn't matter.
PowerPoint?
Generally, it doesn't matter. I would always have both in a room.
Yeah.
We won't go for one or another.
Okay.
We will always have a greenery as well as lighting. And PowerPoint often dictates where we put it. There's
Interesting.
no real... That's one of those subconscious things that we just do.
Yeah.
Hard to get
Yeah.
it wrong.
Yeah. Well, we did one where there was PowerPoint like my head height on the doorway, and it was the only PowerPoint in the whole room. So we really had to think about it in that one. But that was the only time I've thought about it.
How long should it take to load a full truck?
Oh, Jake, that's you.
And second
What's a
question,
full
how long's a piece of string?
Yeah.
Well, for us, we generally allow, like, obviously...
Who asked that question?
Like me.
Oh.
Well, look,
Okay.
access is a component of that, but if we just assume it's at the warehouse and everything is there, ready to load, because obviously getting
Yeah,
stuff off shelves and all that
True,
stuff
true,
takes
true.
But
Yeah.
just the loading itself, if it's just a full truck but not full,
Yeah, right.
you know, we allow about an hour for that.
About an hour,
And
yeah.
We're pretty good at doing it in the hour.
Mm.
If we are giving more than an hour, it's generally because it's going to be what the guys call a door closer. Like you're really getting stuff right to the door on a
Yeah.
high, and that's going to be tight. So those ones will take a bit longer because you've got to be more careful with it. And for us, a full truck, because obviously the size of the truck matters. For us, a full truck is generally we can get on, 4-bed, 2-living, and outdoor quite easily. A full truck is where you're adding an extra living or an extra outdoor or something on top of those. So we can get those
5
on,
bed,
but they're-
3 living and 2 outdoor, that's not going to fit. That's on the scope of not fitting for you. So,
Great.
yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. That's the questions for this week. To finish off with, over, underrated.
Hey, did you see people agreed with my saggy skin?
Yes, I did see that.
Hang on, but you got to give
No context. We'll just leave it. We'll leave it and move
Go
on.
back and look.
Yeah. Under, overrated.
Hang up on Russ. Sorry, Russ.
Sorry, Russ. He's obviously not watching live, is he? We'll be quick, Russ. Okay. Yeah, working. Ducted air conditioning.
Underrated.
Underrated?
Yep.
Yeah, rated.
We use aircon more than we should.
Slack.
Yeah, because you...
I love it.
it's you. Slack. Underrated.
Yeah, underrated.
We don't use it to its full potential either.
We use it a lot though.
We
Like,
do,
we
but-
run the business with Slack.
Yeah, we do, but we don't...
And do we even pay for it? Is it? Do we
No,
just
it's...
on a
Oh,
free
no,
plan?
you...
I don't think so.
Didn't you
We're
have to...
still-
You don't use my premium service so you could actually get
Yeah,
dated
but
stuff.
that was just a trial. So
Yeah.
for the day-to-day stuff, no, it's free.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
just for you to access stuff from 3 months ago, you have to get...
That's really good though that you can use free tools like Trello as well. We
Yeah.
don't pay for Trello either.
No, surely they're going to...
They have add-ons. There's pros, but
Yeah.
for some reason we
I've
haven't
got a
needed
butler service, so I can do it, automate it, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
only does X amount of automations before it stops. That would be convenient, but the fee is quite high. Fees,
Okay.
fees per user,
Yeah, yeah,
that's quite high.
it is quite high. Having team uniforms.
Oh, underrated.
Yeah.
Imagine having to figure out what you're wearing every day.
Yeah, actually, I was going to sit on the fence, but I hate the idea of weekends are annoying. I've got to figure out what to wear. I've worn Foxy here on the weekend. 'cause it's
Well,
easy.
funnily enough, for those watching and listening, we just made a video, sort of Jake and I on TikTok. You might be able to check it out today on the 16th of August. We're sort of paying each other out a little bit, as brothers do. And that was going to be one of my
Yeah.
examples. Jake who wears uniforms on the weekend. Okay, 2 more to go. Using a mouse with your computer.
Underrated. I can't do the stuff I use Excel a lot.
Yeah.
He
And
needs 2 monitors.
Well, I definitely prefer 2 monitors, but I use the mouse. I don't like the
Yeah.
keyboard, the touchpad as much.
I got touchscreen.
Yeah, but you used to use your laptop a lot.
Yeah, I do still use my
Oh,
top,
that's a
but it's a
touch
touchscreen.
screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I just...
Yeah, right. Maybe I'll be next week's on touchscreen. Instagram shopping.
Is it? I mean, I've never used it, so I guess overrated. But does anybody else ever use it?
I've
I
never,
feel like everybody thinks it's a bit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to do it just yet.
Yeah, so probably
Rated.
overrated then. I guess
Yeah.
probably rated. Well, that is it for this week's podcast. Thanks for listening and watching. As always, let us know if you've got any questions, and we'll get back to you next week. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
See you later.
Bye.
See you later. Thank you, Instagram and video. Jake. And YouTube and
Smash the dining table door.
Facebook.
Really bad.